All right, so today we are diving into something really cool, a secret playbook that's completely changing how students are doing college. And I mean the whole experience, not just their classes. This is a real look at how they're actually using AI.
Seriously, take a second. When you hear college student and AI together, what's the very first thing that jumps into your mind?
Yeah, if you thought something like this, you're not wrong, but you're not exactly right either. That's the classic answer, right? The easy shortcut. But what if I told you that's not even scratching the surface of what's really going on? The most clever stuff has almost nothing to do with writing papers.
For example, students are turning it into a personal career coach. They're figuring out what the average salary is for a job in Austin, and then getting the exact phrases to use to ask for more money.
Or they're using it as a social planner, finding the perfect Cuban spot in Miami for 15 people with a $30 budget and, this is the most important part, good vibes.
Or get this, as a personal trainer, plugging in their running data to figure out what's working and what isn't. You see, this isn't about taking shortcuts in class. It's about getting an edge in life. Okay, let's get into how this all came together.
So where did all of this come from? Well, this is not some guide written by a tech company. This playbook was built by students, for students, right from the ground up. It all started back in early 2024. A group of over 70 college students were invited to this thing called a ChatGPT lab. They'd meet online every week, and they wouldn't just talk about it, they'd literally share their screens and walk each other through their most useful and frankly most brilliant chats.
And we're talking about a serious group here. Students from some of the best schools in North America, Stanford, Harvard, Princeton, Duke, Berkeley, the list goes on. They all chipped in, tested these ideas, and voted on the ones that eventually made it into this final playbook of 100 tips.
Okay, first up, let's talk about schoolwork, because they are definitely using it for classes, just not in the way most people think. They've basically turned it into the ultimate study buddy.
Come on, we've all been there, right? You're stuck in a lecture that is just painfully dull, your notes are a total disaster, and you know none of it is actually sinking in. So how do you make that stuff stick?
Well, instead of just staring at their notes, they're getting really creative. They're telling the AI to turn a boring geology lecture into a time travel story. They're even making their homework into a game, taking a dense international relations case study and making it a choose-your-own-adventure to see the consequences. Or sometimes they just have a conversation with it, asking the AI to be a study partner to help them talk through the material.
Okay, here is the classic college nightmare scenario. The midterm is tomorrow, you've got a mountain of stuff to learn, and only a couple of hours. What do?
This is where it just becomes a beast. You can upload all your notes, the readings, the syllabus, everything, and have it spit out a study guide with all the key terms. Or you can get it to build you a practice quiz based on the lecture slides. You can even ask it to create a study schedule using a technique called spaced repetition, so you remember the most information possible in that tiny 2-hour window.
But hey, college is about more than just passing tests, right? It's about setting yourself up for the future. And that brings us to the second area where this playbook is a total game changer, turning AI into your own personal and totally free career coach.
It's amazing for thinking through big decisions. Like, there was this one student at UNC who was stuck between joining a big, established research lab or trying to do their own project. They just had the AI lay out all the pros and cons for each path, side by side, giving them a super clear way to think it through.
It's also incredible for discovering new paths. Students are uploading their resumes and asking the AI to scan their skills and suggest jobs they'd never even thought of. It just widens your perspective on what's possible.
And when it's go time for job hunting, it's like having a coach in your corner. From finding salary data and practicing how to negotiate, to just taking a messy brain dump about a project and turning it into a perfect, clear story for an interview, it helps with every single step.
All right, now for the last part. And honestly, this might be the most mind-blowing category of all. Students are using AI as a personal assistant to just manage their lives. This is just brilliant. A student at Duke uploaded the menus for the dining hall and asked for a weekly meal plan. The rules? High protein, lots of healthy stuff, but, and this is the best part, it had to include the Caribbean flavors they loved. It's like custom meal prepping for the cafeteria. It's also a travel agent on demand. One student was doing a day trip and just told it, "Here's my ferry arrival and departure time." A few seconds later, boom, a perfect hour-by-hour itinerary to see an entire city. And the uses get so incredibly specific and human. Things like brainstorming a gift for your roommate who loves basketball on a $35 budget, or getting advice for that awkward "what are we" conversation. Finding tiny little habits to help you sleep better. Or even just getting a few icebreakers for a freshman orientation class. It's wild.
So when you look at all this together, it's pretty obvious that we've been looking at this tool all wrong. The students who put this list together are really showing us what's possible.
Here's the big takeaway. It's not a cheating machine. It's a personal co-pilot. It's your tutor, it's your career coach, it's your life admin, all rolled into one. The only real limit isn't the technology. It's your own creativity.
This whole list is the combined brainpower of over 70 students who decided to see how far they could push things. They've shared their playbook, so the only real question left is, what are you going to put in yours?